My name is Bruce Burke. I'm the owner, founder, whatever you want to call it, of a company called Gulf Bay Consulting. Local company. I'm a local resident. I'm a native of Tampa Bay. I was born here. Gulf Bay Consulting focuses on helping clients get ready for what I call Generation M. And Generation M is a concept that I came up with Christmas of 2009. I was in Las Vegas with my mother-in-law and my wife, and I needed to think about something other than being with my mother-in-law. So I came up with this concept of Generation M. I've been in the IT space a long time, and essentially Generation M is January 1st, 2010 to January 1st, 2020. This is the decade that will turn away from static integrated communications and technology, ICT, and turn to dynamic information at your fingertips, available wherever you are, whenever you need it, and everybody knows it's all about the mobile phone going forward, you know. We do a lot of different things at Gulf Bay Consulting. I'm a veteran of the wireline telecom industry. I worked for facilities-based carriers back in the day when it was popular to switch tandem and have big Excel switches that were bigger, as wide as this screen and as tall as this from the floor to the ceiling. And now you can do all that in a box that's about the size of this, and it's all software driven. There's no more circuits. I help clients in a lot of different ways. One of the ways I help them is I license a platform that a software house in India built. It enables enterprise retailers to be able to connect their social media, their mobile programs, be it an app or a web app or whatever, their credit, their debit, their gift, loyalty, reward, all the different aspects, their POS as well as international currency conversion, all together in real time. So if they're an existing retailer, let's say it's Outback Steakhouse, or it's a a Fantastic Sam's, or what's known as Regis International. We happen to provide service to Regis International. Regis International, for those of you who don't know, if you've ever been to a Fantastic Sam's or a Supercuts or a Master Cuts or a Regis Hair Salon in the mall, all that is Regis International. They have, it's right on the edge of 20,000 locations internationally now. It's a franchise that you can buy. It's an independently owned franchise, and we provide all the merchant processing for those independent retailers worldwide. Essentially, when you're an independent retailer, if you need merchant services, the ability to take credit cards, a merchant processor, as soon as you open a business, they're all going to call you. I'm sure a lot of you have been hounded by those guys. But every retailer that's independent, they all have their own individual machine, they all get their own individual merchant processor, and so there's no unified information for the company. But with our system, they're able to have their own processor, have their own machine, regardless of the equipment or the processor or the network or anything else. It all goes through our tunnel on the way. It goes to their processor after going through our tunnel, and then on the way back, it comes back through our tunnel, and we add on information, options to buy, and also collect the information on the customer so the corporation can market the customer. So it unifies the system. It removes the retailer from what they call PCI DSS compliance. It's a payment industry standard. PCI is Payment Council Industry. DSS is something system standard. I don't know. It's too early. I went to the Fleming's wine tasting last night, so forgive me if I'm a little cloudy. 25 wines, 25 bucks. Try them all. Anyway. But Intersperse does a lot more than what I was referring to with Regis. With Regis, we do international locations. We do this currency conversion in real time, and we do provide all those services. So in relation to Outback, I can connect their gift card to their loyalty card, to their social media program, to their credit card. So essentially what could happen is a consumer could come in with a gift card that they got for their birthday. Let's say they got a $50 gift card, and they brought the office, so the bill comes to $150. So they give them the $50 gift card, and they give them a credit or debit card for the rest of the bill. Right now what they do is they swipe the gift card and they throw it in the trash. It's a one-off, and they don't need it anymore. They've taken the balance off of it, and it's useless now. It's just a piece of plastic that's going to litter up the landscape. So with our system, and then they take the credit or debit and they swipe it, and they take the balance, and they come back and they give you the paperwork. You've all been through this process. But with our system, they can swipe the gift card, take the balance, and then they can swipe it back through the system, and they can turn it into a loyalty reward card. Then they can take the payment vehicle, the credit or debit card, whatever else you gave, and they can swipe it, and they can assimilate that credit or debit card to the gift card that's now become a loyalty card. And the reason for doing that is you don't have to carry around a bunch of loyalty cards. You don't have to have the George Costanza wallet anymore. All you have to have is that credit card, and you bring that back into the loop, the Outback chain, be it Bonefish or Outback or Fleming's or Roy's or any of the restaurants that they own, and it automatically identifies you as a loyalty rewards customer, so you get your loyalty reward points just by swiping your MasterCard. What our system does is, now that customer can go home, he can go onto the internet and he can put in his Discover, he can put in his Visa, he can put in his Japanese bank card, he can put in his email address, he can put in his Facebook, he can build a profile, and then we can assimilate all that information for the retailer, and the retailer can gain continuing gradual information and build a profile of that customer and market them through different channels, so they can say, this customer is a college student, this customer is a soccer mom, this customer is a truck driver, and they can have different marketing campaigns and coupons and mobile advertising. That there's CRM, there's analytics. It's a very in-depth thing. I don't want to sit here and bore you to death about what it is, but it's deep and it's wide, and it's fantastic, and it's a pleasure really to sell it, because it's a consultative type of sale, but it's long and it's deep, and there's a lot involved in it. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I just wanted to tell you what I do. I'm organizing an event. It's going to take place in Orlando at the Orlando World Center Marriott, April 11th and 12th of next year. The event is going to be called Social Mobile Payments Conference and Exhibition, and I'm in the process of organizing it right now, and it's going to be based on the convergence of social media, mobile connectivity, and payments technology. Essentially, you guys have seen the newspaper articles and the news on the internet about Foursquare connecting with American Express. You check in, you connect your two accounts together, you check in, you get the discount, they take it off your credit card statement before you actually get it. American Express recently hooked up with Facebook, where they have link, like, love. Essentially, you like things on Facebook, you like products, you like services, and based on the fact that you like that product or service, now that product provider or service provider can now market you, and of course you'll pay for that product or service with your American Express, and so there's a discount involved in that. There's a lot of rushing towards Google Wallet, Visa, MasterCard, Intuit, Jack Dorsey with Square. There's probably this year there's going to be more mobile wallets launched than ever before, and you're going to have the right to choose and pick what you want to do with it. I'm sure you guys have all heard of NFC, where you take your thing and you loop it at the point of sale, and you can redeem your coupons, and you've all seen that stuff. But this device is killing every other device that you have ever carried around with you, and eventually this will be your identity, this will be your wallet, this will be your house keys, this will be your car keys, this will be everything. Will it be in this form factor? I have a theory, another theory, and I'm full of theories, but I call it thinterface, and I think the company that comes up with the thinnest interface to the mobile device, or the mobile connectivity that allows a natural interaction with ICT, is going to win the mobile payments race. In other words, you're driving down the street in your car and you want to make a left-hand turn, you instinctively hit that left turn signal and you instinctively spin that wheel nowadays because you've so used to driving. You know, mobile needs to be like that. It doesn't need to be, I flip on the screen, I pull down the thing, I open the app, I click on this, I click on that, I take the picture. It's a 10-step process to check in on Foursquare, you know. It needs to be, you know, I want to take a video of two people talking out there. I do like this, I take it, and I go like that, and it uploads it, you know? And that's the video. And that can all be accomplished through things like shrinking down the Microsoft Connect. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Microsoft Connect. It's essentially a device that sits on top of your TV set, interacts with your Microsoft Xbox gaming thing, and it has a camera that reads you, and it sees you. It puts laser points on you, just like the infrared laser points, and it picks up your gestures, so you can essentially gesture and control your video game. You are the controller now. There's no, it's you. You make your hand gestures. So right now it's a form factor of about this big and about this deep and about that high. Eventually, microelectronics, Moore's law, it's going to be the size of a shirt button, you know, and you'll be able to control things just by doing gestures in front of your shirt button or a piece of jewelry or your sunglasses. It will be integrated essentially to the point of almost non-existence. So you could essentially walk up to the point of sale with a bottle of Zephyr Hills and make a $ gesture in the air indicating that you want to buy it, and it would know who you are. It'd interact via NFC or Bluetooth or whatever protocol it is, and automatically just charge whatever vehicle. You could say, I wait my right eye, I want to use my Visa. The left eye is my MasterCard, you know. It's not that hard. I mean, and it's not that far off. You guys are saying, oh, well, I still got my wallet and I still like cash and I still, you know. I went to Vegas 3 weeks ago for an event, and I took a lot of money with me, and I came back with it all. It's not because I didn't gamble, but I didn't use cash. I didn't use cash. Nobody uses cash anymore. I mean, I started thinking about it, and I started gauging how much cash and how many checks I actually use anymore, and it's virtually nothing. Virtually nothing. Everything's card-based anymore, or online purchase. I only pay for little things with cash anymore. It's only microtransactions, I call them. You know, anything under like $10 is what I pay cash for. I don't pay cash for anything that's over $10. So I'm a real proponent, and always have been, of mobile, but I've been involved in the mobile industry. I've got a lot of friends who are in the payment industry. I just went to Singapore about 2 months ago, I guess it is now. I went to the GSMA Mobile Money Summit there, and I met anybody and everybody that has anything to do with mobile money there. And let me tell you, the rest of the world is really far ahead of us. So if you're saying this stuff that I'm talking about is not going to happen here, it's just the fact that we haven't caught up. You know, in Japan, if you're going on a trip and you want grandma to come feed the cat for 3 days while you're going on a vacation, all you got to do is send her a key, and it arrives on her mobile, and she shows up at the house and she waves it at the door, and she's let in, and then 3 days later it's automatically revoked. You set the time, you set what she can do, everything else. They check in at the airlines, they just wave their phone. They walk up to a Coke machine, and a lot of that stuff is anecdotes and that kind of stuff, but it's very real there. It's a Sony standard. It's called Felicia or Felica, actually. I always say it wrong, but it's very real in other parts of the world, and it's really, really happening. And it's really going to happen here, and we really need to prepare for it. So the idea I had about the social mobile payments, I had this, I just saw that social media and payments are converging, but they needed something to glue them together, and that thing is the mobile connectivity. You know, you can't check in on Foursquare if you don't have a mobile phone when you get somewhere, you know. So they need that mobile connectivity, and there needs to be a lot of cooperation and collaboration and intercommunication, that sort of thing. But the event that I'm doing, this isn't going to be another talking heads, and a guy's up at the podium and he's throwing it away and he's got the clicker and he's, this is quarter one, this is quarter two, we're a $10 million company. It's not going to be like that. I'm looking for people that want to get involved in this event. We're 8 months out on it. I'm developing a collaborative group that wants to get in on it. Yes, I'll have sponsors. Yes, I'll have exhibitors. Yes, I'll have an exhibit hall. Yes, but I want it to be a collaborative event. If you're a software developer and you think you've got something that would work within the conference and somehow benefit the conference and benefit the delegates or attendees, I don't want just CEOs and C-level people getting up at the podium and talking. I want to have a C-level day, and I want to have an innovator day, I'm going to go really out of the realm here and say, I think it's really important for women to be involved. I go to a lot of conferences, and I see men, and I'm really sick of it because I think a lot of women are making a lot of changes in social, mobile, and payments, and I really want the women to be involved. I really think it's important. I get tired of going to these things and all it is guys. I'm married and all that, but I think I'm just trying to. The reason I came up here, and believe me, I really wasn't prepared. I came over here with the idea I was kind of going to do it, but I just decided to go for it. I wanted to raise awareness of what I'm doing. I wanted to try and build some groundswell, you know what I mean, some local. I've always focused with all the companies I've worked for and consulted and helped and worked with. It's always been on a national level or an international level. I've never worked much on developing any kind of local presence. I was talking to a guy the other day and he's like, how come I've never heard of you? I'm like, because I don't do anything in Tampa Bay. I go over there, and I go here, and I go there, and I don't do anything locally. And he's like, well, I never heard of you. I'm like, well, I never heard of you either. But it's, I really wanted to, get people involved. I really want to build awareness. I'm really trying to build a buzz, for it. And I really believe that, the triangulation or the convergence of social media, mobile connectivity, be it 2G, 3G, 4G, WiMAX, LTE, whatever the protocol is, and, payments technology, I mean, everybody needs to pay for things, that triangulation, that is a really, really, really hot market. There's billions of dollars being poured into it. MasterCard, Visa, American Express, Discover, Citibank, everybody is focused on that. But is there room for innovation in there? Those are the company to come and buy innovators. So if you're looking for a place that you can focus on and build something that's innovative and get acquired, those kind of companies got the money to acquire it, And there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of neat things going on. I never thought when I joined up to go on Foursquare, I don't know, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever it was, that a company like American Express would be chasing a company like Foursquare, who's a new entrant into the space, but a company that's a traditional payments company that's probably thought of as being one of the most, corporate and that you could possibly find. They're chasing a cool, hip, young company that everybody works in an open environment like this, where I'm sure at American Express the partitions are almost as high as the ceiling, and it's but it's they see that these social media networks have the customers and they have the attention, and the customers are immersed in this stuff. And the customers are doing it anyway, and the retailers want the exposure. They want you checking in, or they want you Yelping, or they want you, go wallowing, or they want you whatever, doing it at their place. So, they're getting the stuff. I tweeted about the mayor this morning, And he's already followed me on Twitter and retweeted my stuff and interacting with me. So now I'm personal friends with the mayor, just for taking a picture and putting it out on the internet this morning, you know? So I find a lot of power in social media. I think that consumers now, more than ever before, where it was always like top down, it's the corporation here and here's the consumer here, and the corporation tells you what it's going to be like, and if you don't like it, they'll just squash you. I think it's like this now. You know, I think the social media is giving consumers power like they've never had before, you know. I went to I went to the Fleming's last night, I did the wine tasting. Fleming's has a corporate sommelier, whatever the wine person. I tweeted that we were at the thing to that person, and before we left, here comes a bottle of, what was it, Conundrum to the table, and a set of wine glasses to the table, crystal, given to us by the person who called the restaurant we were at from California to tell the local store to come bring us a bottle of wine and bring us these glasses so we could take them home. Because I tweeted a picture about a bunch of people standing in a room doing a wine tasting. That's strong, man. That's strong. You know, and that's the tip of the iceberg. You know, I've had many instances of serendipity like that, you know. And I really think that, you know, I'm really onto something, and I really want to bring people into it, and I'm really trying to just build awareness and bring everything together. I'm running out of time. I got 5 minutes left, so if anybody has any questions. Yes, ma'am.
Who are you?
My name is Bruce Burke, and I have business cards in my pocket right here. So if anybody wants one, I have plenty here.
And then, do you think all of that advanced use of these tools in Europe is because of the GSM platform?
Absolutely. And if anybody wants to know my opinion, I am totally against the AT&T merger.
Okay.
The reason I am against that is because if okay, yeah, here. If AT&T and T-Mobile merge, GSM is the world standard in telecommunications. Every other country is on GSM. We are one of the few companies or countries in the world that has CDMA technology. Both Verizon and Sprint in the US have CDMA technology, and there's very few other countries that even use CDMA technology. So if you're an international visitor from another country and you're bringing your mobile phone here to roam in the USA, and you have GSM technology, and you get here and there's only one GSM national provider, that means they have a monopoly on international roaming in the United States, and you come here, you have to roam on AT&T network. So that's why I'm against it. It's non-competitive. Other than that, I'm all for unity and collaboration, but I don't think listen, I was an AT&T customer since 1980 something. AT&T Mobility in 1989, I think I got my first, I don't know. But it's, AT&T, they're not moving forward. They're not future forward, and you know, I'm not trying to down anybody here, but there's a lot of other companies that are doing a lot more innovative things in wireless, and I'm not anti-AT&T. I had them for years. I had BlackBerry for years, but in what I call Generation M, the idea of the closed network and the walled garden and not being cooperative and not being collaborative and not being communicative and closing things rather than opening things, it's not going to work. It's not a good business model for this decade. And if you want to have a collaborative business model and you want to, you know, work with people and grow your business and have uptake, you got to be collaborative, you got to be cooperative. If not, you're only going to get so far. A walled garden stops at the walls, you know, and you know it's got to be open, you know, and it's got to be open source. And I really I'm not saying it has to be open source like Linux. I'm just saying it has to be available so everybody can work with it. Most of you guys are devs and whatnot, and you want an API that's there. You want to be able to write to it. You want to be able to build on top of it. You have ideas. So that's my thing. I got 1 minute left, and I'm going to get off so the next person can get on. And thank you very much. I appreciate your time this morning.